This is John. John loves investing and trading. No matter where he looks, he sees successful traders and investors. They appeared on the front pages of the magazine, on the television news, and talked about everywhere on the internet. Their investing and trading advice is difficult to ignore, whether on the television news, or in the city banners, or on social media. Traders and investors are everywhere. There are lots of them, thanks to the free time they had during the COVID-19 pandemic. And they all seems to be doing well. Motivated by the success stories of countless investors, John decides he wants to become one of them as well. But will he make it big? Well, probability of that happening is very less. Like so many others, he is most likely to end up in the burial grounds of the failed traders or investors. For every successful trader, there are thousands of failed ones, and most of them wiped out their account in the first 90 days of their journey. But wait a minute. John isn't convinced by this fact. How can there be thousands of the failures when he can clearly see all the success traders achieved? Thanks to the media, success is made more visible than failures. So the failures are hidden from the plain sight. This means that we have systematically overestimated our chances of succeeding because failures are ignored. This is known as survivorship bias. And like many others, John has unknowingly fallen prey to it. Survivorship bias is concentrating on the people who made it or survived and overlooking those who did not. This is a logical error. Let me explain what I mean. After John found out this bias, he decided to do some research, and what he noticed shocked him. One of the examples lies in the Hollywood world. For every successful popular singer, you can find hundreds of other singers who recorded their songs but never sold. Behind each one of those, there are another hundreds who sung the song but haven't found the publisher. And finally, behind each one of them are another hundreds was with the unfinished script. So if you do the math, for one successful singer, there are 1 million unsuccessful ones. And we didn't even count on all the people who have a dream of becoming singer one day. However, we only hear about successful singers and fail to recognize the failed one. The same goes to pretty much for any occupation, whether it is entrepreneurs, athletes, television actors, beauty models, and artists. The media is not interested in talking about unsuccessful stories. Failures aren't interesting unless it is a successful person that is failed. There is a common misconception floating around the society that you should focus on the successful people if you wish to become successful. While there is some truth to that, survivorship bias is often ignored here. You have probably seen these types of articles before, like 7 habits of successful people or 3 things that successful people do the differently. Logic is simple here. If it is helping them to succeed, it would help you as well, right? Well, no. When you factor in the survivorship bias, you will notice that you are only focusing on the people that are made, that is survivor. We are forgetting those that have been applying those habits of successful people, but they are not successful. So while their advice worked for some, it has to be noted that it won't work for everyone. We don't even consider that there are probably other elements at play here. For example, pure luck, like being at the right place at the right time or having key connections with the key people. Those are just factors that are often ignored. Let's take a look at Michael Dell and Mark Zuckerberg. They both dropped out of college and started their own companies, which were huge success because they both made it without college education. It's something suggested that passionate and smart people should do the same. Logically, this advice makes sense. If they have achieved it, what's stopping you from achieving the same thing if you follow their footsteps? Right? The problem with this logic is again, survivorship bias is not factored in. You were ignoring all the thousands of other students who had a huge business idea, who also dropped out of college but failed with their company. This is why you should take successful people's advice with pinch of salt. There are thousands of people who did the same thing as they do, but it doesn't necessarily work out for them. So next time, while analyzing data, it's important to ask yourself, what kind of information you don't have? Sometimes the full picture is hidden if you only focus on the winner's advice, which might be, for example, let's take a more risk. You are ignoring all the losers who did that. You should be more careful. I am not saying that you shouldn't take advice from other successful people, or I am not trying to discourage anyone from following their passion and dream. I am simply suggesting that to keep survivorship bias in mind whenever you do so. This way, you can make much more rational and logical decisions. Wait a minute. You might be wondering what happened to John. Well, he is not a successful trader or investor yet, but he is determined to keep on trying even though he knows how unlikely it is for him to succeed. He is still following his passion for trading while keeping the survivorship bias in mind. He is now learning from successful as well as failed people. Success isn't everything and should not be the end goal. But if you find something you love doing, stick to it while constantly improving. That will ultimately lead you to the success you want to see. Learn, interpret, and apply. You will be always one step ahead in the life. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit that like button. See you again.